Hi, y'all. How you doing? Let's see here. Oh, well, I've already got a new member. Jackie, thank you for becoming a member. Yes, they were activated today. Hey, Kathy, Katie, Little Bear, Iris, Cinnamon. The Cinnamon, you correct me if I saw you in Candus's chat the other day. I was rolling at your comments. Kim in Dallas, Vintage, Jessica, Lexi Texi, Rose Petal, my love, hi. Precious Chaos, Nani, how's everybody doing? Hey, Kathy. Yeah, so I did get memberships activated. If you guys would like to join, I would greatly appreciate it. However, if you are unable to, no worries. I'm certainly glad that you are here joining us and being here, most of all for these victims. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Appreciate it. Yes. So we're going to be talking a little bit about it's going to be probably a short program today because I have some other things to do this evening as well. Oh, I see you. Thank you for joining, dear. Thank you. Very kind. Oh, Iris, do you have an iPhone? Hey, Debbie. Hey, Anita. Yeah, so we're going to, sorry, my kid is screaming. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, I'm sorry about that. My kid is a little bit crazy right now. Oh, Kim, thank you for joining. Appreciate it, my dear. You're amazing. I do not know actually how to do it under the iPhone. I'm sorry. If anyone knows, it would be ICU in here. So that's the only one I could think of. Yes, honey, I'll be down in a minute. I'll get it. Okay. 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 Sorry. Hey, Kristen R. There is a way you can join. I think it's, and she did at the beginning. She did an interview. Oh, where was that comment? I'm going to answer your question to what the title asked. She did do an interview and all you sleuths tore it apart and put it in what was said. Peggy, that may be with a lot of channels, but that would definitely not be mine. So Buckeye Mama, I've looked for you in Marissa's chat today since Tuesday. Oh, you got it, Cinnamon Hot. Yay. I'm glad you're doing good. Thank you, Cinnamon. Appreciate it. So, Apple users. Let's see here. Hold on one second, guys. Holy moly. Sorry. So sorry. My kid needed me, and then the grocery delivery guy pulls up. Ding dong. I'm like, great. I'm only live right now. Okay. I'm out of breath. Hey, thank you, Iris. Thank you, firefighter and medic. Thank you all. Let me catch my breath. I literally ran up like 3 flights of stairs. So we're going to I'm going to show you guys the Candus Harer interview. I'm so out of shape. It's pathetic. Let me see here.
Rose has been missing for 12 years.
Hold on.
I miss her dearly. She's the baby of the family. I have 3 girls. She's my baby. Yeah. Candus is my baby too, but she's my youngest one. And
thank you, Katie.
It's heartbreaking, and then have to go through it again with my granddaughter summer is very heartbreaking. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is what a parent goes through, what a grandmother goes through. I know it's hard for them if they pass away from COVID or some other tragedy. It's the not knowing is what kills us all. It's the not knowing.
There's ordinary, then there's extraordinary. Locker Auto Loans, where you can enjoy extraordinary service, a great rate, and no payments for 90 days. Just visit ECU.
I'm going to mute that while we do the next one. Oh crap, hold on one second. I'm just going to share. I'm sweating like a whore in church, guys. Woo! Okay. It'll be all right. I'm going to share the whole screen. And that way, what's that? What's this Jonesboro man? After distribute leads to shots fired. I was just making sure he wasn't like a SO or something in Jonesboro, you know. You never know. Let me find that. All right. Let me see here. It's for fentanyl trafficking. Hold on. Candus. Okay, I think that's it. ICU, if you can, could you send me the entire
Rose has been missing
no.
12 years.
Hold on, let me go to WJHL.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But we're going to discuss, how many days ago was that? With Candus's. God, they post a lot of stuff on this. Okay. Here we go.
Candus Bly got up that morning.
WJHO. Oh crap.
Took me to into the ER because my leg was messing up.
I'm gonna.
And we were afraid
I think I got it.
something was wrong with.
Let me just share it like this.
And she was worried that there was something wrong with it. And she took the Candus Bly got up that morning. She came out and took me to into the ER because my leg was messing up on me.
So Granda says she goes to the ER. So now we know that that is not, she didn't go to a regular doctor's appointment. She didn't go to a doctor's appointment at the hospital. She says she went to the ER because of her leg. Because there was a lot of confusion with that.
Afraid something was wrong with my knee. I have a knee replacement. And she was worried that there was something wrong with it.
Oh, there's an echo.
And she took me into the hospital. And I ended up getting a shot for it to get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited around for my prescription.
So she said they gave her a shot. So, I mean, I don't think Purple Knights. No, I didn't. Let me see. I see. Hey, everyone. Okay, Justice, there is a fake Discord account with a screen name Monkey's Mama, and it's not Brandy. Discord. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for telling me that. I did contact Monkey's Mama, little Michael. So, but yeah, she said that she got a shot, and so yeah, it probably something similar to that Cinnamon, because now especially with emergency rooms and doctors, I didn't think that they were going to prescribe her something for like an opioid. Now, if I am correct, Grandma has she already goes to like a pain clinic in Wisconsin. Is it Wisconsin? Yeah. I think it's Wisconsin. Yeah, they gave her a prescription for inflammation. But so if that is to be true, that she did get a prescription for, or not a prescription, but if it is true, she did get a prescription for opioids in Wisconsin. From what I understand, she goes back every 6 months to get for a follow-up where she gets her opioids. Now, they probably didn't give her anything strong if she's already on an opioid, and her knee is still hurting her. So she was probably wanting something like a shot or a steroid shot, a cortisone shot, something similar to that. Medication for her legs, like something. Do you mean something like what's it, like restless leg syndrome? Can y'all get Pavel out of there? It's a bot. Yeah.
Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back, and I went in my camper and.
Sorry, I know that wasn't very much, but did you guys hear that? I want to actually replay it and listen to it, because she talks about, I believe it was, bingo, Kim. Believe. Why do you believe if you was there? I mean, are you saying it's just a figure of speech, or, but that is a day you should not, that is a day you should remember every single second, in my opinion. Is there a membership link? I'm on an iPhone. I see you can send you a link for the iPhone.
After we come back in, I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, I believe it was day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back in.
Thank you, Vintage.
After we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that, and of course Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out, and Candus asked me what I was
Never
doing.
mind.
I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And we did that, and then Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite. And then she went in. She said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
Tell me, when you first realized that Summer was missing, what was going through your mind, and what was it like here?
To be blunt, it was hell. I mean, and I apologize, I'm blunt. As everybody knows, I have a missing daughter. She's been gone for 12 years. And all I could say is, oh God, not again. And I couldn't do nothing but cry. And we yelled for her, and we yelled for her, and yelled for her. And we could not find her. Candy was in hysterics. And we never did find her. She called 911, and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of the, over by the edge there, and watched.
Thank you, Queen Heidi. Would you guys, if there was somebody that you thought abducted your child, I'm just asking, would you allow your kids to go outside and go over the hilltop down in the bottom where there could potentially be a dangerous person? If someone reaches for you, it gets a kid or something like that, there, it's a fight or flight. They're either going to fight you, meaning they're going to, shoot at you, or, anything like that. You wouldn't want other kids to be in harm's way. I just can't imagine. I mean, think of the psychological damage that creates for children, even if there's no one down there. Think of the psychological damage. Your mic is very good. Gets a little loud. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. I mean, oh my God, oh my God. Your sister's missing. Your sister's missing. You freak out, right? So I'm going to tell my kids to go look for her when I'm standing on front of the porch looking over. I know her leg is hurt. I get that. Okay. But, they're all there. But I tell you what, if I didn't have legs, I'd still probably walk. Can I turn Grandis up? Yes, I can. Hold on 1 second. I got it on the hallway, I think. Okay, that's maxed out. But to me, that just seems a little suspicious. And another thing I want to address in this, why is Grandis just now, out of 8 months, why is she just now talking? Can you guys think of a reason why just now, not in the beginning, she wouldn't talk? Was late in the... Oh, that's okay, Ashley. Yes, why is she now talking? I want to know, why is she now talking? Is it because Don's in jail and Candus and Don are currently saying they're not romantic? Or could it be that it's going to be a he said, she said? Thank you, Little Texas Tornado. Thank you so much. Well, TC, yeah, I think that's a possibility that Don could be talking. What was that? I think she might be going. Yeah. Or it could be, it could be that, I think it's really, it could be a game of, Don's in jail and he's like, you know what, I'm the one in jail right now. And maybe he had nothing to do with it, right? Maybe not. I don't know. That's, I'm just thinking of theories here. And he's like, I'm in jail and I didn't have nothing to do with this. So you know what? I might start talking, might start giving clues. Maybe he's talked to his roommate, if you will, in there, and the roommate has said something. And another thing is, why Candus? Why would you not want to be in front of every television screen, every live, anything that has to do with Summer about finding your daughter? Like, for parents who, in my opinion, who have nothing to hide, they do not understand what a blessing it actually is to have so many eyes on this case, and as far as the media, YouTubers and everything, because that's what keeps these stories alive, the media. And it's right at their feet. And right now, Grandis is just talking. Candus would never, hardly ever do an interview. She did it in the very beginning, but that's when nobody was really suspecting them, just like really in the very beginning. And the entire time, it's pretty much been Dawn doing the interviews. So now lately, Candus has been going on YouTube. She'll go on YouTube, and she's obviously made her own channel. She has every right to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But thank you, Crystal G. Thank you, dear. Thank you for your support. She has every right. Hold on, I'm sorry. Like thingy's going out. She has every right to do that, but why will you only go on certain I get it. You feel like some YouTubers and stuff has did you wrong or whatever. But why will you not talk to the media when you will, like the big media, news stations? Candace has spoken, just not to you. Uh, she has spoken. Yeah, she has spoken, but she doesn't speak to. She has not spoken to the big media at all since. I mean, does anyone has there been any major interview with the media with Candace since the beginning? She doesn't owe us anything. But she doesn't owe us anything. I'm not asking her for to owe me anything. What she does owe is to find her daughter and to keep it out there. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why is she not? Why won't she do it? There is a reason. I mean, she'll go on her channel and speak about everything but Summer. They asked her yesterday in her live, she wouldn't speak about it. Hold on. She has a gag order, I believe. Where is to speak up and keep it going? Yeah. Now, yeah, I mean, she doesn't need to talk about the boys. Nobody is asking for Candace to talk about the boys. The boys are in very good care. Yeah, we only see her a couple minutes a week. Well, I can tell you that she definitely does not speak to the media. That's just a fact. She doesn't speak to the media. We don't see that she speaks to the media. And you know what? Ronnie Lawson says she doesn't speak. She doesn't say much because it's twisted always. No, thank you, Sweet Pea, for the membership. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. I'm not here to say whether she's guilty or innocent. I'm asking questions of why these things don't happen. I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury. But what I'm saying is people twist it up. No, you cannot twist. You cannot twist. No, not speaking doesn't make her not guilty. It doesn't. Absolutely not. And that's what I'm saying. But what I am saying is it does make you, through the eyes of the public, make people question you. It does. The behavior that she has shown over the months of her gone has been suspicious. And you can't twist the words of, oh, I walked her over to the house, which was what, 10 or 15 feet. I told her brothers to watch after her, and then I'm gone for 2 minutes, and then she's gone. Then the other night, she states, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. What if I would have walked? What if I would have went outside with her? Now, come on. That you can't twist that. There is no thing to twist on that one. There's nothing to twist. They're two different scenarios. They're two different scenarios. I'm not saying she's innocent either. I'm definitely not saying she's innocent. I'm not saying she's guilty. What I'm saying is why. That's it, Stone. The truth never changes. It never changes. It can't. Truth is eternal. It is what it is. Hold on, where was that? She was already outside. Well, Kristen, the thing that I'm talking about was the other night when she did an interview with someone. She said, I asked myself, what if I would have done that? What if I would have done this? Why didn't I have walked outside with her? It poor has nothing to do with being a good mother or not a mother. She I mean, I don't think she would win Mother of the Year, that's to say the least. But, she doesn't seem like she's grieving the way a mother, everybody grieves differently. I get that, but I don't think mothers grieve in a way that pranks people and does all of this shenanigans. Um, it's she did a Phil. I agree, Precious. Candus did an interview with Dr. Phil. She's did an interview in the very beginning, and those are the only two major interviews that I can think of. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she has done other major interviews, when I would consider Chris a major interview as well. In 8 months. I don't understand. Then she shouldn't have had kids. Well, yeah, she's definitely not Mother of the Year, and look how many kids that she has produced into the world, and look how many she has. She's sitting up in that house alone. Oh, wait, where was that? What is it, Joe, honey? Yeah, in my opinion, I think Candus has always needed someone to take care of her. She's needed, and this is no disrespect, she's needed a daddy figure. I am certainly not calling her a killer. I'm certainly not calling her a killer. That isn't, I would never call her a killer unless she is judged by a judge or a jury in the court of law. That's not for me to decide. I'm pointing out what I think is suspicious. She may have had nothing to do with it. This could all be one big coincidence. Do I think it is? No, but it's possible. So, no, you can give your opinion as long as you're respectful. You're welcome here. No, I actually think that was a troll, but I'll answer your questions. So, I would like to hear some of your theories. And also, I can't get over this part of the case, and I'll tell you this. The 911 call. Mother went for a walk. I don't see Candus walking. I don't see Candus going for a jog. I certainly don't see myself going for a jog. And I can't get over the fact that Hunter and Candus was in the car and Dawn called and said there was basically a dirty old man up there could be doing inappropriate things to children. I can't get over those two things. It just all seemed, in my opinion, very staged. We all went to this place one day. We'll drop mom at the hospital. We'll do this or this or this. No, I do not think it is a mix-up, in my personal opinion. And the reason I don't think it's a mix-up is 911 callers are very precise. They're very measured with their words. And they have to be, because they know that those 911 calls can be heard in court. They can be relayed differently. They can be. But, Michelle, it says your device is not connected. Can't let you up if your device isn't connected. You'll have to show your face. Yes, I think they get it right. They have it on recording as well. I don't see all of these things that Hey Amy, can you just wave at me? Okay.
Just don't look like nice this time of day. I'm a little
You're
tired.
You're fine.
I think she's just, do you know what she left out of her story?
What?
Was this whole thing with the knee brace.
Uh-huh.
I just,
That's true. That's very true.
I just don't understand. It's like every time you hear this story, if you had to ask me what the order of events were for that day, I couldn't even get it straight because it seems like it keeps changing.
Queen Heidi, you'll have to turn your camera on. Okay. Can you wave? Queen Heidi, I need you to wave. No. It's stuck.
You can sit, Alexis. But I just think this story keeps changing, Justice, and I think the issue is that I don't think that Candus is going to be going on so many interviews because she can't keep her story straight. I think that she can't remember the events. She's going to get all the things out of order. the timeline. She can't keep that straight. Even on last night's live stream, she had someone guiding her and having to hold her hand. Basically, I wouldn't watch the live stream, but excuse me, I watched a live stream about her being on a live stream on her own channel. So I don't think she can really keep the story straight. I think it's hard to keep something going. If you really know what happened, you wouldn't get the order of events out of order. You would, and plus, actually, what I find is that it's weird that they remember such little minute details. Like if something happened, like to my child, like that, I'm not going to remember that I walked in and walked out. All I'm going to know is that I'm in a panic. I can't find my kid. Where is law enforcement? My grandchild, if it was my grandchild, I'd be not, I don't have a grandchild yet, but I would be like, where is my grandchild? What am I doing to help with my daughter? If I'm with my daughter, we would both be in such hysterics, not being able to find our child. So none of this makes sense. They talk about this whole day with such a disconnect that it's just the most bizarre thing. It's like you're in bizarro world. I'm like they're like it's like
It
they're
it
talking
doesn't
like
sound like it doesn't sound from the heart. I
it's
mean, and I hate to say, I mean, I don't mean to be judgmental, but it sounds very rehearsed.
it's she's look at her. She looks cold and callous. She has this. She's just so detached from
Well,
the situation.
Hunter said
She
she was very grumpy. A lot of people said she's really a grumpy
she
person.
seems different than her daughter. Like she seems like she has a little bit more her she doesn't sound like she's on drugs or doing like she doesn't have slurred speech.
Yeah,
She doesn't she seems like she has a little bit more of an education
yeah,
and a bit better able to articulate herself. But it's just the way she is going about explaining the events of the day. It's just weird.
yeah,
It just doesn't make sense that you don't describe some like a day like that happening to your grandchild. None of
yes,
it makes sense, especially a grandchild that you live with. I could see if you don't live with some grandparents live far away and they don't see their grandchildren every day. But this is
hmm,
her grandchild. She lives basically on the same property with, and
yes.
it's just so bizarre. It,
And you would think that Candace would call law enforcement a lot and say, "Hey, is something going on the case? What's going on?
Absolutely.
Have you made any strides or anything?" But she won't call.
I think
She
she's
doesn't
afraid
call.
because she doesn't want to find out. She's not interested. That's why what I think. So um, I don't know what else to say. I just find that it's detached, that she missed that part of the story, and that they just can't seem to get the story straight. And if Candace isn't going to say anything because she's going to mess up what she said before, especially with the initial interview with Chris McDonough, it's all going to be out of order, and she's just not going to be able to keep the timeline straight in the order of events of that day.
Yes, because
And
listen, if you tell the truth the first time, if it can't change, because once you start changing that, law enforcement's like, thumbs up.
absolutely.
The first time you start changing major events.
But you know what I think also? I think that with this Ronnie Lawson, I think that I don't know if you've heard of the book The Art of War. It's like by
Yeah,
Sun
of course.
Tzu, and
I've got it.
I think he's maybe employing those techniques
Hmm.
in the case to really rattle their cage.
It's possible.
Let them sit and simmer, and
Yeah.
he's looking like he's that they're not cooperating. Maybe he's saying they're not maybe he's doing that to get them to cooperate and scare them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I that's what I think.
I don't know.
I don't know what anybody else thinks about what happened
Yeah.
with that
I
interview.
have a bad knee. Jen Mail South says I have a bad knee, trouble sometimes, and if I went to the ER with my knee out, definitely would not be leaving there and going to walk around the lake.
No,
I would have been sitting in the truck. But
same here. I
she
had a
goes,
bad knee too, Justice.
yeah,
I had to get shots in my knee, but I got stem cells because I was afraid of putting all this cortisone and stuff. But I wasn't.
stem
I
cells
had
is
to,
much better, anyways.
but I couldn't even walk up the stairs or downstairs, let alone a hill. When I
Yes.
had this going on, I had a brace on. It was the most excruciating pain that I had with this knee. It was the worst trouble I had because
Well, even if you
it's
could, you shouldn't
debilitating.
be. But even if you could, you shouldn't be.
No,
You
none
know
of
what
it
I
makes
mean?
sense. None of it
Because
makes
if your
sense.
knee is hurting, you're not going to leave the hospital, you know, go to the lake, go to
No.
2 vape stores, and then walk around in a, because she did go inside the grocery store as well.
And especially if you've had, like, for instance, say a cortisone shot, you're going to just want to leave that alone.
Yeah.
They're going to tell you to get off the leg, not to do too much that day. Just let the cortisone get into the joint, and just they're going to tell someone of that age to take it easy.
Oh, yeah.
And,
And
and
stop to
it,
pick the flowers.
absolutely, who's can squat and plant flowers? Who with a knee like that? None of this makes any sense. I just think it's a whole bunch of crap that they're saying. I just don't believe any of this. And
Yeah.
where is her ER record? Has anybody gotten a record of the visit? That's the other thing. Have they ever confirmed that she even went to that doctor or went to a clinic? I'm just curious. So none of this story makes sense at all.
That would be HIPAA, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Not HIPAA, not really. They could just say if someone was, they're not disclosing any kind of medical information. They could just say they were here. We wouldn't, say any kind of medical, data. That there's nothing to say. Just getting a timeline where you've at this place, where you at this store, it's not. She said she was there, so it's confirming. It's confirming her story. She already put it out there that she went there. Just going say, but was she actually there? They could say yes or no. That's not really giving anybody
Well,
information.
the hospitals around here now, they won't, they'll ask you when you check in, do you want anybody to know if you're here or not?
Yeah.
Well, that's true, but I'm just saying. But she already said she was someplace. All you know what I mean? If she's already put that out there that she was at this
Yeah.
place, she's already said that she's been there. So I don't know. That's
That's
just
true,
my.
Sativa. Ain't it funny? Law enforcement hasn't validated anywhere they were that day. That's
I
true. But maybe
it's
they're just keeping quiet as well.
maybe they have.
I mean,
And
I'm sure they have verified it, but they haven't publicly verified it and said, yeah, they
let's
have.
see.
They're
Let the
not
all
gonna
I,
public they're not gonna publicly tell you anything.
No, but look at the case in California. Maybe hopefully they're going to put this stuff together like this DA did out in
You
Bakersfield
see,
with the two children, the two boys. So hopefully maybe we'll get something together with this case.
but you see, I think if they thought it was an abduction, they would say Summer, Grandis, Candace, Hunter went to these particular spots that day. If you saw anybody like, you know, talking to them, looking suspicious, anything in any of these stores, these areas, contact law enforcement. You would think they, you know what I mean? If they
Of
thought it was an
course,
abduction,
of
and they
course
would have,
they would.
they would have named the places that she went and said, and then made a comment to say, you know, they was at the smoker or whatever place that day, but they're just not.
I don't know. It gets stranger and stranger as each day goes by.
Hmm.
And the cast of characters keep growing and growing. It's almost like you would need like a chart to keep track of who's involved in this whole
I've
situation.
literally thought about getting like like a big whiteboard and just like clicking links, just literally like that. And
It's crazy. It's like this is worse than these soap operas I used to watch, on TV. It's just it's unbelievable. And it's like this in a lot of these other cases too. But I just hope that it gets solved because it really makes you doubt what these law enforcement agencies are actually doing. I give them maybe another 6 months. I don't want it to be 6 months. I give them another 6 months. I'm going to give them the same amount of time that it took for the
I
sincere and
agree.
classic. I think that we have to maybe use that case as a benchmark to then see where it goes with this case. I don't know. Maybe they have a different technique in Tennessee. I don't know. Maybe there's a different culture. I'm not sure
There's
as how
definitely a different culture in
their
Appalachia.
operations are. Because I'm a northern person. Like I don't see New York with my neighborhood or the New York, New Jersey area. I don't see them dragging like this. Maybe they would. I'm not sure. But
Right.
it's just I know that CPS and everything around here is the same messed up situation, no
It's
matter where you
everywhere.
go.
Yeah.
It's all the same crap, different state. That's how with the CPS. So stuff is it's just got to change already. So I
Angel in
don't know. I'm gonna
disguise. She says, I think it speaks volumes that they are still a person of interest after 8 months. That's
absolutely,
true.
Yeah, and I think
absolutely.
what I got out of Lawson that day is no matter what, no matter whether they have a lawyer or not, that without him saying it, I got that they're definitely suspects in his eyes. Saying
That's the
that,
reason I came up.
yeah,
Yes, Michelle.
That's the reason I came up. I have talked to Sheriff Lawson.
Uh-huh. So are you a local?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Nice.
And he did say that they do have lawyers. And the reason he says they're not cooperating is because he has talked to their lawyer to have Candace to come down and talk to him.
Mhm.
And she said no. So
interesting.
And
Mm.
something, I can see that happening because she once Dr. Phil kind of started, the guys, not Dr. Phil, but when they was on Dr. Phil, they started asking her questions.
The
She
behavior
flipped
panel.
out. The behavior panel, yes. She flipped out and she wasn't going to talk. So I can see Candace saying, I have a lawyer's and I'm not going to speak.
and I know a
I,
lot of people are
I
putting down Sheriff Lawson, but there's nobody in this county that wants them found more than he does.
Jackie, that's a
It's
good option.
really, really racking his brain.
Uh, Jackie says Katie Mason. They went to Sonic and you get a peppermint candy there. And it just so happens Candace said Summer came over for a peppermint. That was interesting.
Yeah,
You may have gotten the peppermint at Sonic.
Ronnie Lawson looked madder than you know what in that interview. He looked angry in the
Hmm.
last interview.
He's tired of all the lies.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what? I don't know why they. What I don't understand was why doesn't he get more support for this case? Why isn't there anybody reaching out? Like I even called the governor and the attorney general, and I said that what did I say? I said that you need to really act in the way that those people, the attorney general in Kentucky acted to get this case, the Serenity case solved. I said that in Kentucky, they're your example of how to run this case right now. And I said it's a disgrace. It's a blemish on your York State. That I said that when I think of Kentucky, Tennessee, all I can think of is this case. I said that to the governor's office. I've left a
Hmm.
message. I said that I just said it's just embarrassing that this stuff isn't pushing forward at a better rate, and that
Hmm.
and also this. I also mentioned the CPS. I said that, you know, you need to reform your CPS. I really think people really need to get on these elected officials
Yes, with
to
CPS,
really
absolutely.
not only these low line, I call like the sheriff and all these, they're the low lying fruit. I know people say you have to go after it locally, but you really have to go to your governors and your state representatives
Yeah,
and
they're the ones that
demand
make the
that
law
change.
change. That's the
Right,
lawmakers, and the only way the laws change is if you talk to the lawmakers. Yeah.
absolutely. And but family court, all the family court is really different than criminal court. I really think that they should be merged already with these cases, that they need to work hand in hand, not separate, like one hand doesn't know what the other hand is doing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to step off, but I just had a few things to say. I can't be on all night, but I
Um,
just had a
please
few
enjoy your
things to
Amy.
say. Thanks so much, Justice. Have a good
Of
night.
course.
I'll talk to you later. Bye,
You too.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So, Michelle, what do you think's going on in this case?
uh, I've got so many theories where I watch so many people on YouTube that I do think that Candace and Grandis has something to do with it. They know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel
But
that it was an accident or intentional?
I'm not really positive on that one yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. So,
I've got, I don't
go
know,
ahead.
there's just so many things that you can think of and so many theories going around. It's just hard to grasp your mind on what she could have done with her or what or where she would be. And they keep searching around the home and I don't know. I don't know.
I really wonder if she's out of state now. Like, I really feel like, is it possible? It is possible. Anything's possible in this,
Anything's possible. Yeah.
but is it probable as well? Who knows?
I just, myself, I hope somebody has her that's taking care of her and she is alive.
Right.
But as long as it's been, I don't know, it's just
It's it would be a miracle if she's still here with us. It would be nothing
exactly.
more of a miracle.
I hate to say it, but I don't think she is, but
Hmm.
in my opinion, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I dropped the link. I think I did.
It's the
Yeah,
first time
anybody's.
I've ever been on a panel, so I'm kind of nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. We are a there is tiny. Okay. We accept everybody here, and we don't bite.
I bite.
Tonight's Heidi's last night in her vacay.
Yep.
And
Heading back
she's
to.
laid back too, ain't she?
I've been pain. I've been in
Sorry.
pain today, so
I'm
taking
sorry.
it easy. My poor girlfriend that came down here, she's really sick, really sick.
I'm sorry.
So
Kim, what's your opinions on what's going
Uh
on?
oh.
Come on, Kim. I know you got something to say.
Well,
Kim's.
huh?
That's her connection. It's not really working very good.
Oh. Um, I kind of sat back and listened from the horse's mouth, and I didn't take what people said or what they speculated. I thought about it. Um, but I kind of just wanted to stick with what Candace would say online, what Dawn would say online, and the interviews that were given. And no matter where they went for an interview, I would listen. And
Is
So
somebody's TV on?
Oh, mine in the background. Hold on.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Kim. Go ahead.
Better?
Yeah.
I just turned mine down too. Sorry. So what I did was, in my mind, I decided to go back to when Candus was little. And I started with children learn what they
Right.
live and live what they learn. And so how was this girl raised? What did she learn? At this point, I didn't have Summer or three boys in my mind. I just had one human being, and it was Candus. And her mother left her. She was raised by men. She was left with her father, which is okay, but you kind of need your mom just like you need your dad, you know? And she had special ed classes throughout her years in school. And to me, in my opinion, I felt like she was the girl that we all know that would take any man at any cost for any bit of attention she could
Yes.
seek.
Any form of attention.
Okay.
And I think she takes the abuse from Dawn as well, because some people just don't want to be alone.
So,
DV is never acceptable. That is totally unacceptable.
but
And I feel bad for Candus in that
yes,
aspect.
I feel that she learned that some things that men do to women was acceptable. And I feel like that if it was the most biggest piece of shit in the county, no matter where she lived, if they said one kind thing to her or treated her with any type of respect, she would jump on board and go with it. And she didn't grow up like we did, like I did, like you did, as my friend. Like, yes, we've all had problems, but this was not a normal situation for her growing up. Dawn, I don't know. I didn't really want to go on Don's side. So I sat there and thought, okay, fast forward. Here we are. She's gone through all this shit out of, you have a choice. All choices result in a consequence. So I thought, what if this woman doesn't know? What if this woman is fearful? She's grown up like this. Many women grow up and think that some things that men do are acceptable, and she lived by survival. Let's just think about that for a second. And so this little girl's missing, and there's drugs involved, and there's bad things involved, and even to the point of knowing how things work in a trafficking situation. And so that fast forwarded me to a call on November 13th that Don Wells had with the creator and his sister, Sonia, I believe. And Don says, I know where she's at. I know how this works. She's on the street. She's in a hotel room. And she's being sold for crack. And no one will listen to me, but because I know how this works. Why do you know how that works?
Exactly.
Why could you even go there with your missing child? That's how my mind worked. Why in the teetotal fuck did you just say, I know how this works? So that was a huge red flag to me. He also says she's in a hotel being sold for crack.
I
No
mean,
one
how
will
does
listen to me.
anybody know that?
No one knows that unless you exactly what he said. I know how this works. So in my mind, Starlink is what? His little
alibi.
GPS tracking in his car, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what if Don goes to work that day? Don's interested in what's going on at that hill. He's so interested, he calls about the man. He asks her what time she's asking, "Are you home, Candus?" She replies, "I'm getting the medicine. I'm not home." They get home. Summer gets out of the car. She's hanging out. She could be planting flowers or swinging on a swing. But if she knew and she heard her daddy at the end of that dog trail, she went to her father down that damn dog trail hill. And she didn't think nothing about it. But he was not in that Starlink. He was in a construction truck because they said that it had ladder racks on it. So I believe he left his job site in a different truck.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
And he went down there and he picked her up. And
Yeah.
that's why Jody Sue will say,
go ahead.
that's why Jody Sue will say, it's bigger than this.
Yeah.
That's why she has said that when you speak, or when there's certain things that she says, it could really take your life. This is like people's lives involved. And why would lives be involved if you're really searching for a child? Why would you shut the hell up and not say nothing if you don't know more? And I just, in my theory, I believe that there was something owed. He picked her up. She wasn't afraid to go. Candus had a feeling because she knew this shit, because they're too scripted. But she doesn't know how to say anything because her life is at stake. And the only reason why she's showing her face now is because she has no middleman. Dawn's gone. Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
I mean, Dawn's in jail. She's able to be free. She's able to be who she wants to be. Because if she doesn't know what happened and speculates herself that her husband was involved in this, because that child just doesn't vanish. She didn't walk off that hill. But if she saw her father down that dog trail, the only place the FBI has said they found those tracks, she would have gotten in the car with her father or someone she knew at any cost.
Could you say that last part again?
I said, if she saw her father at the end of the dog path, I believe she would have went down the dog path to her father or someone she knew with no problem.
What would Dawn let something slip one time on an interview, and he was saying something, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something to the effect of, she was from here to whatever from me. Does anybody remember that interview when he was talking, like he was saying Summer was just like not too far from where he was? I always thought that was interesting.
And you know what? This is the most interesting call, and this is what fueled my to go back and go to the beginning and actually take every creator out of it, take every speculation out of it. That's what I did. And I just listened to their voices and how things don't add up, but they're telling. They're so telling in what they say. And I do have that call that Dawn did. If you want me to play it, I will. It's only 1 minute and 11 seconds, but
Please, yeah.
It's telling, and it'll make. Now we know what we know. I don't know if it will do the same thing to you, but to me, it did. Okay, here we go.
Mommy, stop letting your fucking mind go there, okay? I've already been there. Stop it. You can't do this. Unhealthy. Drinking is unhealthy. It makes you angry. It makes you go there. I'm just telling you what I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes. I believe that you have seen this.
He saw it with his own eyes.
Candus, my daughter
Do you hear what I'm hearing?
It's a little hard to hear, but
I sent it to you in email.
you did?
Maybe you could. Yes, I did.
When did you send that to me?
Oh, goodness gosh. Let me go look. Because it's very telling.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to you. I mean, if I'm sounding like a total fool, please tell me. I can take it.
No,
I
it's not.
promise.
Let's see. Do you know what you entitled it?
Yes, I do.
What did you call it?
It's called Leaked Call.
Okay, I found it.
Okay. I mean, how do you know how this works? How can you've been there? I've seen it with my own eyes. How we're asking, how are you not screaming for your kid? But I'm asking, how the hell have you seen this with your own eyes? Is it you? Is it you? Have we made a wrong call here? Why do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
And where's your
I
daughter?
agree.
And I think if I had one question to ask him, it wouldn't be where's Summer. I want to be, how do you know this? Because that's where we'll find our answers,
Right.
in my opinion.
If you guys will mute on panel so I can play this. Now, I don't know if I need to mute myself too to let it play or not. So if there's an echo, tell me and then I'll replay it. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay. Caller from the 13th of November.
Somewhere with some fucking weirdo fucking some motherfucker trying to sell me for some little bit of crack cocaine. I know how it works. Somewhere pulled up in a fucking motel room.
Donnie, stop letting your fucking mind go there, okay?
I've already been there. I've seen
Okay, there is an echo. Hold on.
You can't do this. Unhealthy. Drink.
somewhere with some fucking weirdo fucking some motherfucker trying to sell me for some a little bit of crack cocaine. I know how it works. Somewhere pulled up in a fucking motel room.
Donnie, stop letting your fucking mind go there, okay?
I've already been there. I've seen
Stop it. You can't do this. Unhealthy. Drinking is unhealthy. It makes you angry. It makes you go there.
I'm just telling you what
Now you fucking stop
I'm
it.
telling you what I've seen with my own eyes.
I believe that you have seen this.
I did not understand this. My daughter's probably on the fucking streets right now somewhere. And nobody's listening to me.
Donnie, we can't do anything.
I know where she's at. She's in a fucking motel room somewhere with some fucking weirdo fucking some motherfucker trying to sell me for some a little bit of crack cocaine. I know how it works. Somewhere pulled up in a fucking motel room.
Donnie, stop letting your fucking mind go there, okay?
I've already been there.
It's very interesting.
You see? And his sister believes him. I believe you've been there. I believe you've seen it. So is it that Candus knows that this could have happened and she's fearful, and if it's not what happened, could her life be at stake? Because the thing about it is, I don't think that she's ever trusted a woman in her life.
Candus? No.
Yes. No. I don't believe she's
She
trusted
seems to not like any female whatsoever.
No. And you know, when she finds herself on a male's panel, she lightens up. She smiles because someone's being nice to her. And sometimes those some people can be the wrong people somebody needs in their life at that time. And I just don't think that this woman ever had any self-worth. I don't believe she even knows what that means. I don't believe that she even knows. She tried to be the best mother that she could. And I believe that she was at Don's beck and call and there was just so much violence that happened in that home, because I believe that's why there's so many pictures of her children away from that house. I believe she spent a lot of time away from that house due to whatever Dawn was involved with. Whether she did drugs, whether she drank, I believe that she took those kids away from the house to try to do what she could to get them away. I believe that she knew it wasn't right. But then again, where was her mentality? What was she accepting? Could she face this world with nobody? She didn't even have her mother. She didn't have a true friend in her life ever.
I
And I
agree.
just don't think that she's scared. And I think that once Dawn went to jail,
I agree, Sierra.
that her days were over. Like she could actually open up and say what she had to say.
Well, I know
And
Don likes control.
right. And he's very upset at the fact that, well, I've heard that he doesn't like all this. Well, of course he doesn't. But you know what? She said something. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And that's telling. And she just, whatever we might think of her, but people, you never know what people are suffering from. And this woman could absolutely 100% know exactly that person that drove Don to that house that day and picked his daughter up at the end of that dog path. But is she saving her life? And if you go back and listen to Grandis tell about the hospital, she said, I went to the ER.
Yes.
And then she says that Candus was worried about her, that she had to go. For what? What was the events that happened that day kind of don't make sense. But then you get the phone call from Don, and then he wants to know, is she home? It's very strange to me. Very strange.
Kristen Rose, she says, Justin, they both wanted to look inside neighbors' homes. And I think she's referring to the Cal City boys' adopted parents along with the Wells. Said they wouldn't have walked off. Both of them, the Cal City and Summer parents, the kids had been taken. I just think it's strange that there are so many similarities.
Well, it's horrible. These are people that are not,
There's one thing that really sticks in my mind, and it's those texts that Grandma did to a friend, where she says that they came home, she went in the camper, she took a nap, she heard Candus leave. To me, she was going to meet Dawn.
Or somebody.
And then Dawn took her to where she was going to be, because that's how he supposedly knows where she is.
Because I think Candus took off down that hill because she saw that truck. She saw something. She knew that Summer got in that car, and she hauled ass after it.
And when she came back, Grandma said she heard one car door, and Summer wasn't with her.
Grandis said she heard one car door?
When they got back, when Candus got back, she heard one car door.
Oh, like meaning closing it. Like
yes. When Candus got out, and that she didn't see Summer. That stuck in the back of my mind for a while.
I think cell phones and GPS knows where Dawn was. Well, this is my thing. Even if they kept their phones on, that's going to tell everything. But if they turn their phones off, that's still going to tell something, in my opinion. If those phones aren't pinging you turn your phone off, they quit pinging. If those phones aren't pinging off of a tower, that is also an answer. You may not know where they're at, but it definitely raises suspicion.
It goes to where they turned it off.
Yeah, it's like if the phones were off 2 hours, why would you turn your phone off? Nobody turns their phone off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't turn your phone off and then just pop it back on and call 911. It just doesn't work like that.
I don't know, guys. There's just so many things that could have happened. It's just done.
He could have had someone take to go get Summer, like Kim said, and left the phone at work. Yeah. Left it on the entire time.
Because I remember in the beginning when they said that it was ladder racks on the truck, or that there was suspicion of ladder racks. And I'm thinking, ladder racks? Well, he says 7 alibis and she has none. Well, I guess you do. If your phone's at work, you were there, and somebody gave you an ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they got in a different car, and that Starlink stayed at the house he was working at, and he was in a different vehicle.
Yeah.
And the one car door you could have heard was him getting his daughter. I mean, it's just what I've been thinking because I've listened to them,
That's what I was
And what
talking
they
about
say.
a while ago that I agreed on when you said that they were talking about the Starlink.
Mm-hmm.
I agreed with you on he could have left his car at work and took a truck to meet Candus.
Of course. And the only reason why I put up the dog trail is because that's the known place of where the dogs got her scent. That doesn't make sense. So that was the only thing that I could make sense in my mind.
Could you say that? What did you say about that? Say that again.
The only way that it could make sense in my mind was the dogs hit on the dog trail. So if that's the only place that they're saying the last step Summer took, who was at the bottom of the dog trail?
Mm-hmm.
And one door slammed, because she's not going to go with anybody. And that's why I just feel that somebody knows more, because I feel that it's fear that they're not coming forward with it.
Well, Granda said when she came back and she heard one car door, she comes over to the trailer and screams to her that Summer's gone, and she lets out a scream. Maybe the scream Jody Sue heard. I don't know.
And in the same respect, if it wasn't Don that grabbed his daughter, then Shiffrey Jr. plays a role in my mind. But I don't believe that there will be one arrest in Summer's case. I do believe there'll be more.
Yeah, I do too.
But I just try to make sense of it all with what they say. That could be fact. You can go pull up somewhere that is factual of what they said,
Mm-hmm.
And it really bothers me that he knows how this works. He's seen it with his own eyes, guys. He knows how it works. Well, how does it work, Don?
I mean, I don't know how it works.
I don't know how it works. Does anybody know how it works? I mean, he said it.
I don't know anything about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
How in the hell? And then your sister agree with you. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you know. Wait a minute.
Or he deals on drugs all the time.
Right. You've seen it because you've been there and you've done it. You know where she's at because you've been in those same fucking rooms before, Don. You know what's going on here. And that just blows me away that is so telling that I'm no law enforcement by no means, but I'm sure that's got to be written down somewhere. I mean, Lawson could get a damn ring if that's what's going on. You know what I mean? He's seen it. He told you. I didn't make that up. And that's what bugs me.
Might be why it's taking so long.
Yeah. Because it's bigger than this.
Yes, they do have GPS on it. The car, they can shut it off. But again, they may not have used the car. They may have kept the car there and used one of the work trucks with a ladder rack on it. It seemed like an old work truck to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, with the ladder racks and the buckets.
Yeah.
Just so happened the same buckets that he uses at work.
I mean, if you could only imagine, I mean, these people were there for a long time. So even though the hill was very steep, could her father or could someone, the perpetrator, I'll say, could have gotten up that hill faster than me and you could? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Snuggles was
halfway?
right on that.
Even halfway? Could very well be.
I mean, for a stranger to, in the words of Candus, 2 minutes, for a stranger to have came up that hill, knew exactly where Summer was at that exact moment, because Summer, she's running around the yard, she's running around the house, she's got a lot of energy. In 2 minutes, I've been to the property, like I've been to the foot of the hill. Those hills are very steep. That driveway is a lot. The first thing I said when I was there, I said, "Damn, that driveway is a lot steeper than the pictures show." It's a lot steeper than the pictures
There's a
show.
lot of steep hills around here.
Oh, I mean, I live in Appalachia. I mean, I live in the heart of Appalachia. But I'm just saying that the driveway, it's very rough, and there's a lot of uh, potholes up the hill, so to speak. A lot of
Washed
washout.
out.
Yeah. To walk up that hill, run up that hill, and go to the pinpoint of where Summer was down in the basement, knowing that there is adults there, and the boys was not abducted when they were by themselves all day long when there wasn't an adult around to be seen, and come back down in 2 minutes. That doesn't seem right.
And it doesn't seem right when you tell your boys to go over the hill, find your sister, when they're all little boys. She was just,
Exactly.
you believe she's abducted? Why in the hell would you send 3 boys alone over the hill? Just, if you really listen to them, they're telling, it's almost like they give it away. Some words they use, it's so scripted that you're like, well, that makes sense, but now she's on to this part, and then this don't make sense. It's almost like you could critique her entire interview from right here at home. It's very strange.
Why are you going to send your little boys to find your kidnapper's daughter, knowing or not knowing whether or not your boys are going to get kidnapped? Yes.
There's no way I'd send my kids over a hill if one was already gone.
And there is no traffic on that road. There's none. I was on that road for an hour and I didn't see one car. Not one car. It's more like a road that
You're talking about Ben Hill.
yeah, it's just a road with a dead end, and the only way you're going to go up that road is A, if you live on that road, B, visiting someone on that road.
Or getting lost up there and turning
or getting
around.
lost. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It's not a road that you're going to just go on. It goes to nowhere. It's a dead end. I mean, it goes for a little bit of a while, but it's not like there's no junction to go to another place. So,
When you describe it, Justin, to me, it's almost like you got to be back there for a reason, or you shouldn't be back there at all. There's nowhere to go.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the way Beach Creek is. I mean, you better know what you're going for and get it and get out.
So if you're going to abduct a child that day, why the hell would Ben Hill? What did you stake it out? Did you know?
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't seem like, I've never been there, but it just doesn't seem like, from what you've described, and I trust your word with all my heart, that this just couldn't, like, she didn't just get kidnapped. But here's the thing. I feel like in Don's mind, she was kidnapped. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's convinced himself she's kidnapped.
Well,
That's why he kept saying it.
They said with their own mouth that Summer would just not run off.
Correct.
They said that and said that and said that.
Yes, and told her about the bears and the snakes, and she, not to go in the woods, and she wasn't allowed to go as far as the boys were.
Somebody carried her off the hill, and I don't think it was a stranger.
Mm-mm.
In my opinion, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that too. And the circumstances surrounding that day, when it comes to phone calls and what was being said, and him asking if she's home. I mean, let's face it, he knows that Candus isn't, I don't want to say, guys, how do you say this? I don't want to say she's not smart, because that's not what I'm meaning. What am I meaning? She's just not educated. I don't know how to say it, but he knew how to manipulate her the way many men have her entire life, even to this very moment.
He's still doing it while he's in jail.
Right. And other men are taking advantage of her not being all there. You know what I'm saying? It's weird for me how it's just a different.
She relies on people, or she don't want to make her own decisions.
Yes.
Right. The only thing I can just tell you, I know there's book smart, common sense, and street smarts. That woman has street smarts.
To an extent, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I just think, I think Candus just tries to get through life, and that's it,
She just
like Don does everything for her. She doesn't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, Candus's first man, there was a huge age difference, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a huge age difference between Grandis and Candus's dad. He just died recently. He was like 80 some years old.
Yeah. Things don't make sense, and it's a lot. When Grandis gets on TV after this, why? Is the fear gone? Is the person that they feared gone? And they know it. I don't think for a million trillion years that Dawn Wells, if he was at that house, that Candus would be on YouTube by herself, or Grandis would have ever got on TV.
No,
I can't be convinced of that.
That's
can't
why
even-
she's never been on there till he went to jail.
That's
And
correct.
now he's mad at her now because
she's
she's
talking.
talking to other
Mhm.
creators.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that.
Mm-mm.
To me, he wanted to be the only one that was out there speaking. That way, the words wouldn't get twisted up any
Correct.
more than they already are.
Because he had to control the situation. He had to control the narrative. He had to control what was going on. And now he's lost control.
Yes.
Phew, imagine what it'll be when he gets out.
Oof. Oof. It's just a one theory, you know. I'm not trying to say I'm right or I'm,
No,
but
it's interesting to hear.
it's just the only way that I could patch it up in my mind, because none of us can understand how, no child just vanishes. It just doesn't happen. And then we look at, other cases where their parents do or are involved with their disappearance or murder, and they had their own children help. So nothing would surprise me in this case at all, because I could have never even thought that theory out whatsoever. I don't think that way. But with this one, I just thought, I'm going to sit back and listen for a while.
The best thing that could happen is if Candus knows what happened, for her to speak up now if she truly, truly loves her child and let them know where she is.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
It would be Don fears now. Hold on. Don fears now, is Candus going to throw him under the bus? He has said that many times that she's probably going to throw him under.
Well, if she don't throw him first, he's going to throw her, so what's it matter? Somebody needs to throw somebody under a bus.
Yep. A Greyhound bus. Sorry.
Don doesn't want Candus to have any friends control. That's true.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the way she's been her whole life. And she's okay with that. But she's not anymore. She's not anymore. I don't believe she is.
Oh, thank you, Kristen. Thank you. But thank you for the super chat. What was that? I don't know. It's just one of those things that we need, we need answers. We need to find this little girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's tearing my heart out. I would love to know where she is. I would go find her right now.
I mean, right now.
I don't know.
And I don't know.
Well, it's
I
good
wish.
to talk to you guys. I think I'm going to jump down from here. Thank
Well,
you for letting me up on
Thank you,
panel.
Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. It was good to talk to you too.
Good to talk to you, Kim.
All right, darling.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
Bye. I think I don't know. There's just something I feel like is stirring, or they're playing tug of war.
Mm-hmm.
Don in jail, Candus and Grandis. Maybe they're teaming up, to try to be as strong, strong together against Don now. Maybe Grandis is trying to talk sense into Summer's head, or Candace's head. Kim doesn't have a channel, no. She has
No,
what? She has a channel here.
Yes, I just like to be here.
Yes, everyone, please be respectful in chat. I would appreciate it. Everyone is welcome as long as they're respectful. We don't have to agree with each other, but we can be respectful. Candus damn well knows we've seen the Playing with David Dodson in it by other creators thinking he purchased Summer and took her. We've seen the plane. Was he a pilot? Thank you, Vintage. Was David Dodson a pilot?
I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
Very interesting.
It is. Let me see if there's anything else I want to check out. We did talk to a local reporter there who is very familiar with this case. She is saying that Monday she hopes to get more clarity on the Ronnie Lawson statement referring to is Candus and Grandis and Dawn, are they not cooperating, or was it a was he misunderstood or anything? So hopefully we'll get some more clarity on that. And that way, because somebody is right. You can't have an attorney. You're either being represented, or you're not. And I think that will be very telling. Grandis said they can come up and talk anytime to me or Candace or any of us. But I believe Ronnie Lawson. Because Candace does not want to be interrogated.
Then what would you assume that the reason would be that she would tell the public, I do not have an attorney, and she would write it down as a statement? How do you feel about that?
I feel like possibly that, I mean, I could be 1,000% wrong. These are just my opinions. I feel like Candace doesn't want the public to know that she has an attorney. And the reason being is, why do you have an attorney? Your kid's missing. That's what she thinks the public's going to say. I mean, she has every right to have an attorney. But I think she's going to be, people's going to be like, well, why do you have an attorney? Because your kid is missing. You're just telling your story. You don't need an attorney if you haven't done anything wrong. But, that's just what I think she would think. I mean, she can have an attorney and still be absolutely innocent. But I'm just trying to think, what would her reasoning be?
Like, do you feel that she would be more under scrutiny by lying about attorney or telling the truth?
I think it's going to be under scrutiny either way.
Yeah, I do too.
So,
and I'm trying to think about what's in it for you to do what you do and say what you say about an attorney, but yet an officer of the law says they have attorneys.
yes.
What's in it for you? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, after you get an attorney, you can't speak directly to the person you're trying to question. It all has to go through your attorney.
Mm-hmm.
So law enforcement has to reach out to that attorney.
Correct. So
So
if she has
now,
stated, okay,
sorry, L. They have a right to lie. The police do when interrogating, but I don't think the police, especially the sheriff, would lie when it comes to hold on one second. I think that apologize for that. I do think, what was I talking about?
I don't know. I was trying to push my pug away from the table.
Oh,
I don't even know what you were saying. I'm sorry, Justin.
no, it's fine. What was I saying? I just think she's just going to be scrutinized either way, but Candus said, I love Donnie, but I am not in love. Yeah, parenting break. That's exactly right. Yeah. But, I don't know.
It's hard for me to
I don't,
imagine. Oh,
I was saying that I think that, yes, the police are allowed to lie. They are allowed to lie when it comes to, yes, thank you, Amy. When it comes to, one second.
I hope maybe I got y'all's brains pumping just a little opposite way if we could explore all avenues. I've always heard that if you focus on one thing and one thing only, you'll lose the rest. You know?
For the 50th time, I think law enforcement, they're allowed to lie in a, interrogation room. But I do not see Ronnie Lawson lying to the public like that.
No.
I just don't see it.
I don't see it. And if he's made a mistake, great. But for me, when you retain an attorney, you're going to keep your mouth shut. And I watched her live last night and she talked about her daughter. But I also heard, I'm not talking about anything about this case.
That would be the first thing I would want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. But not if you lawyered up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the very first thing that you would want to talk about is the case. But if you've lawyered up, you're not going to talk about the case. You're just going to give general answers to what color was your daughter's favorite color? What did she like to do? What's her favorite cartoon? Those would be general questions. But when you retain the lawyer, we're getting deeper into it. And she stated she will not answer any questions about the case. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
See how your brain goes all the way around? It's like I don't even know, like an obstacle course, but it's a lot. And then you say, come up on this hill, talk to me. Well, if that's so, Grandis might not have ever lawyered up. She might be able to talk to whoever she wants to. Then get in that patrol car and get right to 110 Ben Hill Road. And if you don't know how to get there, I'm sure there's many locals that can point you in the right direction.
Yes, guys. When it comes to the family attorney, we have to understand the kids have an attorney the moment they are in protective custody. That's separate from an attorney for if Candus and Don was appointed an attorney for the CPS case. That is a totally different attorney. She would not, it would be totally different. If they lawyered up and they're not talking, it's totally different.
Right. So when Child Protective Services decided to take those boys from their home, they had to petition the court. And at that point, when they removed the children from the home, they were asked, can you afford an attorney or do you want an attorney?
Right.
So they got the state approved attorney because they couldn't afford it. That attorney only works that CPS case. They don't defend them in the Summer Wells case.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah. That's very interesting, isn't it? It's interesting that the attorney doesn't offend you when it comes to the CPS case. But with Summer being gone, it's offensive. Yeah. Public defender, attorney, lawyer, whatever, it's
because you think about it. If you think about it, you just can't walk into the courthouse and say, hey guys, I need a public defender right now. That's not how it works. You have to be charged with something in order to have a public defender, such as a DUI.
Yes.
If you don't have the money to represent yourself in a DUI case, they will give you a public defender.
Yes. And that is another thing. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, she hasn't been charged with anything. They have not been charged with anything. They're absolutely innocent human beings. They're absolutely innocent. Okay? As far as the law goes or anything, because they have not been charged with anything. They may never be charged with anything. But if you haven't been charged with anything, why are you clamming up and having an attorney? Why are you refusing to cooperate? Because if my kid is missing, I might have an attorney. Yes. I may. I don't know. But I damn sure I'm not going to clam up. I'm going to be out and about talking to
Absolutely.
anybody.
Absolutely. But here again, Justin, we have never seen that. We've never been there. We've never seen that. We've never been there. Think about it. We don't know how that shit works. How did it work, Don? You saw it. And that's what leads my mind back to that conversation is why wasn't there any hysteria on that hill that day? Why wasn't there freaking out going on? Because somebody knows what the hell happens in these kind of cases? Because it's bigger than she didn't just vanish. No. What did you know about that situation, Don? And what does your family know? And what are they? It doesn't look like they're going to, that Candus will protect him much longer, if she is at all. She wants to feel like a woman. She wants to, who doesn't? What woman doesn't want to feel like a woman?
Exactly.
What woman doesn't want to walk in her house and yes, it be cluttered. And yes, you might have a damn ashtray on the table. And yes, you might have your kids' shoes in the floor. But if you open the door, you don't give a shit who comes in your house because it's lived in. Yes. When you open the door of the Wells home, I saw pain and I saw depression. Because nobody wants to live like that. It's just that there's just so many things. And I just hope that I jogged your mind a little bit because I love to talk to you. And I love hearing everybody's theories, but I hope that I made sense at least.
You did. You did. Yeah, just the bed that Summer slept on. It breaks my heart. It really does.
It's terrible.
Nobody.
It seems like that other things were more important at certain times in their lives than their children.
Is your house a wreck, Heidi, or is it filthy?
And her house is not a wreck.
I mean, I've seen it in your kitchen.
I know. What is she talking about?
Yes, guys, if you would please hit the thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah. I don't know, guys.
Does
They
anybody else have something? Maybe somebody else could play off what I said, or I don't know, Justin. It's just, I think it's bigger than what we see, and I think it's right in front of our faces, and we could be having some blinders on to little things. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm
course.
correct. You know what I mean?
Well, there is so much. There is a lot of theories in this case. That's all we have. We don't have, usually in a case, there's a knife left, or there's a gun shell, or, there's some form of physical evidence. That's why this case is so baffling, is we have a time frame about, and we have these characters, and we have a baby missing, and we have parents acting very suspicious in aspects. That's, my opinion. But, exactly. And the parents on YouTube. That's another thing about this case. Most parents do never come on YouTube. They never come on YouTube, if it's this big of a case, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like multinational case.
I mean, I've even thought, oh man, I honestly didn't think that she'd come on YouTube after Dawn was in jail, because guess what? She never wanted to come on YouTube. She would get so pissed off. Don't you remember? This
Yes.
woman was like, Donnie, I just want to back her up. Well, if you think about, this is another thing I thought, y'all. If you think about your husband, and this is a bad situation, and your husband is getting calls from women off YouTube calling him dad and calling him every single day just to see if they could get something out of him, and Dawn is eating it alive.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of this woman. Yes, of course. If it had happened to me, I would be livid. Dawn enjoyed that.
Yes.
And I think she hated it. And she hated women. She didn't trust him whatsoever. And he was the middleman. He wouldn't allow her to speak. And he was just, you know what I mean. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, honey.
No, you didn't cut me off. Dawn is a control freak.
Yep.
And, as soon as Dawn goes to jail, she says, I love Dawn. I'm not in love. She's, last night she looked really good. Candus did, she looked so much better.
She looked
was
wonderful.
she was made up, and she had her hair down, and she looked really good. And she's got a YouTube channel. That would have not been Candus a month ago.
No, sir, you're right. You're exactly right about that. It was like she found something once he was gone, because I heard her say, "I can't live this way anymore."
Yeah.
And you can't, And she had her hair down and she said, "I love my ball cap because it keeps the hair out of my eyes." But, you know, she just was the fear gone again. It's just so odd. And I feel like in some ways she feels like, because she's always had to redeem herself to someone, that she feels in a way she redeems herself to the people on YouTube, because she always never wanted him on. She's screaming at him. They get in a fight. I mean, it was obvious to me, in my opinion, that he hit her online. And now she wants to come out to try to do what's right. Is it because she has a family plan to follow in order for her to even think about her children coming home? Because those children are not going to come home unless they deem that house fit and she's fit, and they are not suspects in their child's disappearance, in my opinion. I don't believe that. Do you believe that?
Kate, you says we'll all. Well, to be honest, wouldn't like my husband on YouTube channels talking about their lives. I would be like, stop, but of course in private. That's true, but why is Candus allowed to do it now? What if Don doesn't like her on there? You know what I mean? So it's the shoe's kind of on the other foot now. So they either both need to be able to speak or both not, my opinion. So
He enjoyed the control.
What was your question?
Mine?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't have a question.
Well, you asked me something.
Oh, well, hell, I don't know what I asked you.
We'll all blaming you YouTubers, make an apology if they're innocent. I don't know how I feel about that comment, because I'm not saying that I know. I'm saying what the things that I know in this case, which there is no evidence. We're all just speculating about inconsistencies and things that doesn't make sense to us. I've never once said she was guilty. I've never once said Don was guilty, and I'll never say that until a judge or jury and the police find the person or persons involved, and they are tried in the court system.
Yes.
So they could be, I'll be the first to tell you, everybody has doubt. Everybody has doubt. You know what I mean? But, but
just because we have doubt doesn't make you guilty in the eyes of the law.
Exactly.
And we absolutely have doubt. We wouldn't be here if we didn't.
Yes. Cinnamon. Cats away, the mice will play. Jose will show up next.
And to be honest with you, it's anybody that's going to pay her half attention. I mean, and that's just poor. I mean, that's it. It's going to be anyone who pays her enough attention. And I just hope that in my heart, oh, sorry.
Hold on. Peace. If you care about Summer, you wouldn't trash her mother or father. You know what? If Summer's parents cared about Summer, they wouldn't have treated her the way they have treated her. They would have taken care better of her as far as her health-wise as far as the cleanliness of the house. So, I mean, we can also say that as well.
Mhm.
So there's that. Let's see here. I don't respect anybody who truly doesn't care for their kids.
Mhm.
And that's just that.
That's right.
They may be completely innocent, 1000% innocent, but yeah. And there's that.
Yep.
I mean, they just. I'm not going to listen. I'll be sympathetic to any parent who I feel like I am very sympathetic to people who nourished their kids, who cared for their kids, who tried to, you know, have their kids have a better life, but, you know, doing dope around your kids and living in these filthy conditions with rats and everything and
Mhm.
seeing that mattress in that house and no doors in the bathroom. Kids can't have privacy. Adults can't have privacy. Uh, you know, the poor kids, their teeth was rotted out of their head, you know, and for what? That's not a good parent.
Absolutely not
It's
a
just
good
not.
parent.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
And we can either say, and those are facts. You know what I mean? I mean, we have saw the mattress. We have saw the inside of that house. You know, I mean, they, you know, Don has had charges for intoxication after intoxication and uh, breaking and entering kind of stuff, you know, and those are facts.
That's
Yes.
right.
CPS was there on them. Maybe I don't know if it was happening at this specific time. In my opinion, it probably was, but you know, Don had said, you know, we'd call CPS on Allie, Allie had call CPS on us, you know, and so
Mhm.
listen, kid, absolutely, Kitty May, you can still be poor and have a clean house. I was raised dirt poor, dirt freaking poor, but we were clean.
Mhm.
We were clean, and we had love, and we had nourishment. You know, it wasn't just a frozen pizza, an 89-cent frozen pizza. So,
That was my favorite thing when I came home from school was Mr. P's pizza. I would always eat it.
you, God, yes.
Yeah. I guess one thing I never ever in my life want to do is take pleasure in someone else's pain, no matter what their situation is.
Yeah.
And I never want to falsely accuse anyone or, I liked the theories, I like that, but to just slam it down on the table and say, this is it. They're
Absolutely.
guilty. I can't do that.
No.
I can't.
It's not fair.
It's
It's not
not.
fair. It's not up for me to decide or any of us to decide. It
Mm.
is only up to what the facts are. The police determine this, you know, and uh, the state to prove their evidence to a grand jury and then go from there and let a judge or a jury decide that. And that's that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to say, Stone, you said couldn't afford a door and a carpet. A sheet would work too. Don made good money.
Yeah, he did.
They didn't have a house payment. They had a car payment. They had insurance. They had electric. They didn't have sewer.
Mm-mm.
You know, Don made
Taxes
good
once a
money.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, but the taxes aren't much there.
Right. But they still survived. You know what I mean? And making all that money, where the hell did it go?
Well, we know where it went.
Yeah, we do. That's why I want to ask him that question on that tape. How do you know what it looks like?
Yes.
And I hope at the end of this that if there's any other children that has been involved in this, that all comes out too.
Yes.
Because he said he knows this. He knows what it looks like. He's been there. And I can't shake that at all.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Fluffy, for becoming a member. Today's my first day of memberships, guys. Thank you, love. Appreciate ya. You're so pretty, too. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, it's been you would have been very fair tonight, Kim. You really expressed a real light how Candus could be this. Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
It's very true. I mean, guys, this is the thing. We could all be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We absolutely could. And it's not, I just don't ever want, I mean, it's not that I'm being hard on Candus or Dawn or anything. It's that there's questions that some people don't want to see, the inconsistencies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at everything over here rather than also the things that are over here and the things that are over here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean, if you're not taking into account Dawn and Candus and everyone else around there, then you're not looking at the
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. Okay, precious.
And
So,
another thing that just, that throws out my mind is that there was a time where I was listening to Jody Sue and she said, you got to be careful what you say. Because it could be a matter of life or death. You could get somebody killed on this hill, And I listened to that and I thought, really?
mhm,
Who would want to harm someone that was looking for Summer Wells? Who would want to harm someone?
yeah,
Because,
that's
I don't understand.
very true. Oh, Glamdy, thank you. Glamady, thank you so much for your membership. I appreciate it, dear. And Fluffy, you made a good point. When all comes out, maybe we will all have a small piece of this truth come out that we discuss. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
And the greatest thing about that is all of our little small pieces could fit the story.
Yes.
Everybody has their opinion, and your small detail could fit this detail. And sometimes it is the public that helps them figure it out because we hear everything,
Mexicana. Thank you, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not letting me.
Well, I'm gonna jump down, Justin.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
well,
eat dinner real quick.
yes, I'm actually going to end this because I have of another engagement in a little bit. So
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to come up and talk about something
thank
that's
you
so
for
touchy.
joining.
You know, it's the Candace and Dawn situation is so touchy, and you're not sure if you want to say how your opinion is because it might not reflect someone else's. But I do really appreciate that we were able to come here and just give everybody's opinion, and
Thank you.
I appreciate that from you
I
very
appreciate
much.
you. Thank you, Tanya, for becoming a member. Thank you,
You've had
sweetheart.
one awesome night.
Yes, everybody's been so amazing. Thank you, Jen. I really try to keep it that way. I don't care if people agree with me, disagree with me, as long as we're having some engagement together. This is the thing. I don't think that I'm right about. I know I'm not right about everything, and I am willing to learn. I am a student of life, the way I think of it. And it's not that I never want to be closed off to any idea. Because if we're closed off to learning, if we're closed off to a part of the case that we think that could not be possible, then we're not willing to learn. And we should always be willing to learn in life. And if our minds will just go one way, one direction, then it's just not gonna. You're just never going to be able to me to be to do any good in cases like this, because we're all out to find justice for the victim, right? I mean, that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're here. The persons they cannot speak for themselves. In a lot of cases we all do here is particularly children, and we just can't. They don't have a voice. And you never want to put someone in prison who doesn't belong there, and you never want to let the person who does belong there get off. I am truthfully very worried about the Suzanne Morphew case right now. I'm terrified for that case
Yeah.
because that is one where I am very willing to say that I pretty much, in my opinion, I have to say that, believe that Barry Morphew did it, in my opinion. And I stand firm in that opinion. Some opinions we stand more firm in than others. You know what I mean? Our confidence in that opinion, I guess you could say.
Right.
But the prosecutor and that, they're publicly saying we jumped a little too quick. And this is the thing. I would rather find Summer in 6 months from now, a year from now, and know that they're taking this nice and slow, even though it's frustrating the hell out of all of us,
Right.
making sure that they're crossing their T's, dotting their I's to make sure that they get justice for this little girl, rather than, find her now, jump on everything, jump to conclusions, and everything get thrown out in court, and you have a half-ass case, and the person gets off. you know
Mhm.
No
They don't
punishment.
want to rattle the cages. They're gonna let it. They're gonna let it roll and see where it goes. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But he's damn sure guilty. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and Fluffy, I feel very sorry for Suzanne's daughters. And I really try to think about, how the children would feel. And, they are taking up for their daughter. I think, especially being a child. Yes, we can see you, smarty pants. Um, but I think being so young, I don't know if you can ever picture your father murdering your mother whenever you grew up with them and you saw the loving times together, and you just can't picture your parents ever doing that, because generally your dad and your parents are very gentle with you. They're your parents. Oh, the hookers is here, Tara. um and then also they lost their mother, and they don't want to lose their dad. It's kind of like if you've ever lost someone you love, like really close, you just want to, like, you'll get their clothes and just to smell them. You know what I mean? It's just
Mhm.
grasping a hold of something from memories. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? You're just grasping a hold of something.
Anything to find the comfort when it comes.
Yes. And I think that they are just saying, you know what? Maybe even deep down in their heart, they know what happened, but they just can't say it. It's too hurtful, and they don't want to make their dad mad, but they don't want to lose their dad to prison forever.
Right. Mhm.
BB, absolutely. ICU or Jackie, I'm sure, can post the link for iPhones. I appreciate it, BB. Thank you. Um, so yeah, it's did they get rid of all the kids stuff or not? I don't know that. I don't know that, and uh I don't ever want to give you a definite answer on something I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I think that's careless. You know what I mean? That's why I always want, for myself, the panel, and the chat, to say, in my opinion, or allegedly, or something, because that's how misinformation gets around. You know, well, this person said this, and if you state it as not in my opinion or allegedly, then people assume it to be a fact, and we don't want that. Yeah.
Because you could add all sorts of spices to this case and it would just sound just so wonderful. But if you
Yeah.
just don't know that to be an absolute fact from the horse's mouth, it's kind of hard to give that information if you just don't know that's a fact, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kristen, I agree. You know something? I mean, honestly, like, the best aspects that could come out of this is that Summer would be alive, you know. Um, but if she's not, I guess I hope that Don Candace Grandis or anybody did nothing to her. I hope that if she is gone, that she actually did run off somewhere. You know what I mean? Or something that it just happened. You know what I mean? That nobody hurt her.
Right. It would be an absolute miracle if that baby came home and not a hair on her head was touched.
Yeah.
And my prayer is the same thing. That's what I hope. I hope for a wonderful reunion, even if her parents have been neglectful, just to calm their hearts to know they didn't do anything and she's okay, either way, you know. But I'm going to jump down. I'll be in chat. Thank you so much for having me up. And thank you for allowing me to tell you my theory as well.
No, thank you for coming up. Thank you, Queen Heidi. And I hope you have a safe drive or flying. I don't know if you're driving or flying. I think you're driving. Back tomorrow. Safe travels. Yeah. All right, guys. I really appreciate you coming here, being supportive. It means the world to me. And thank you for being here for these victims. And just being part of the family here. I feel it was a great stream tonight for sure. You guys are wonderful. Okay. I see you just posted the membership link in the latest communication post for the channel there. So thank you, Heather. Thank you, September. Y'all have a wonderful night. Bless each and every one of you guys, and hopefully justice for Summer and for the Cal City boys. Thank you, Jen, Star, everybody, Lori. Hopefully for the Cal City boys as well, that justice will be here sooner rather than later, as long as the police has crossed their T's and dotted their I's. Love you guys. Good night. Y'all be safe.